right, so now that we've looked at Australian Indigenous artwork and artists that they have across their country, that you can see how variable they are, what the symbols mean, and how important it is to their culture. So we're going to work on doing the dots that they do, like a dot painting around it. We're not going to quite add in any symbols, but instead we're going to trace our hand, and then we're going to use the back of our paintbrush in order to make those dots and fill up in concentric lines, but out of dots that way. So first thing with your pencil, I know it's hard to see, but you can always see the shimmer of the lead once you do it, is you're going to write your name, and then you're also going to have your teacher code. So I can clearly see the shimmer of it, make it large enough, not really tiny up at the corner, unless, you make it legible that we could read it. But that's important because they're all going to look very similar. Once you're done, flip it over. And the next thing I want you to do is you're going to trace your hand. So I'm going to put my hand on here on the paper. And I'm going to trace along my hand, forgive my lovely nail polish, and I'm going to lean my pencil into my hand and try my best at tracing my hand. If you need somebody at your table to help trace it for you, you can take turns tracing each other's hands. All right. Then you will have your hand nicely traced on it. Lastly, what you're going to do is you're going to draw a little heart next to your hand. Okay? Right between, right here, so you can see I drew a little heart. Okay? Once you have done this, we're going to put our pencils away so they don't get in the paint or ruin our painting. Next, we're going to have our trays. I have them pre-poured and a lid to keep it nice and clean and covered. You're going to have a cup that's empty with the brushes because we're going to use the back of it. And then you'll have a paper towel that you're able to use and to wipe off in between your colors. Think of the color pattern that you want to do. You can do a variety, but you're going to do one solid color first, then another color, and you work your way around. Do you want it to start with cools or warms? Look at some of those examples that we have at our tables to kind of give you an idea of what inspires you. Maybe you want to start with some cool color or warmer color, and then you work yourself into a cooler color. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush, okay? And I'm going to not stick it all the way in. Because I don't want to get paint all over the place. I'm just going to nicely just add in the base of it. So just like this, I didn't stick it all the way to the bottom, just a tad. And I'm going to go around my hand just like this. Go back, grab a little bit more, and keep going. All right, so as you're doing this, and you can see I'm just using enough, you can make different size dots. And you don't have to push it all the way in your paper, but just try your best going all the way around. When you're ready to do another color, and this is why you don't want a lot on your brush anyways, you're going to use your paper towel and you're just going to wipe off the color in that spot. I don't do it in the middle of my paper towel because once I've done this, I kind of fold it and then I still have more to go. It's not about putting it in the middle and throwing this out because that's just wasting paper. So I'm going to keep going and I'm going to do another color and I'm going to keep layering it until I get as far as I can and fill up the entire paper. So it's concentric lines, like the same shape of lines, but it's using dots instead. So think about if you want to do a pattern. I think I'm going to do a magenta to a blue to a light blue, a magenta, blue, light blue, and keep going. But I've seen others that have done a variety of different colors, and it's really up to you. once you're done with your project, you're going to carefully take it. So I recommend where your wrist is, you're going to go underneath of it and you'll carry it like this to the dry rack. Please hold one hand onto your paper, because if you walk and it goes flying, well, then it all gets squishied. So that's what we're going to do. You clean your desk. Make sure that you clean your brushes up at the sink and if any paint is inside of the cup, and then we put the lid back on our trays.